Time to talk about those big men. Name code right there. I'm Dustin. This is Sinners for your 2018-2019 fantasy basketball season just around the corner. Starting to get excited.
Freshman year starting center, by the way. Moved to shooting guard by the time I was a senior, didn't grow another inch. All right, no. I am not on these rankings, but we do have every center, and not only on these rankings on the show, but make sure you log into FantasySmackTalk.com. Check out our cheat sheet. We update that throughout the preseason. If there's injury news, if there's guys that are starting that aren't starting now, it's a great look right before your draft, but even before your draft to see who you should be looking at, because the pre-rankings on these sites are terrible.
Some of them are pretty bad. But you know who's not bad?
Who's not bad, it's Dustin?
Two guys in Tier 1. Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, you're going to have to spend an early first-round pick to get one of these guys, but they're the best in the game. They're amazing. They fill it up across the board. Well worth the pick on draft day.
All right, Tier 2. You know, we put Embiid in number 3, and I know the injury risk is scary. He only played 63 games last year. I'm hoping he plays more this year. He said he wants to be the MVP, and you know, the kid is so sick. About 23 points, about 11 boards. You're going to get 2 blocks out of him almost, a 3. If he plays a full coming into games, he can be in the talks with Davis and Towns. And then I want to talk about Jokic for the Denver Nuggets. You know, he doesn't get as much love as he probably should be, and he's one of those guys that goes in the middle of the second where, like, you're not thrilled to take him, but what I'm telling you is, be thrilled to take him. Out of your center spot, if you can get a guy that can get a triple-double almost on any given night, it's fantastic. They run a lot of offense through him, so that assist total last year was not a fluke. It's going to happen again this year.
Tier 3, lots of guys to still get excited about. Myles Turner, you know, is a guy that has definitely progressed. He's getting to the point to where he's, you know, not quite elite, but he's definitely a solid center that you can grab. Some things I like about him is he throws in a 3 a game, which is nice. Doesn't rebound as much as you would like to, but the almost 2 blocks a game is very solid, and I don't think we've seen the best out of him yet, so there's still some fun upside with him. Liking some Myles Turner. And then DeAndre Jordan, new home with Dallas. I mean, you know the deal with him at this point. You know, he'll get you a block. He's going to get you a ton of rebounds, but just make sure your league does not count free throw percentage, because he will kill you there. But Jordan will do just fine over there in Dallas.
Clint Capela for the Houston Rockets got paid.
Yeah, he did.
That doesn't mean his stats are going to go up. I think he does exactly what he did last year. 14 points, 10 boards, 2 blocks. I think he does it again. He's ranked as such. He's going to be solid. Also durable, 74 games last year. Definitely like that. Then I want to talk about DeMarcus Cousins. And man, the reports are just so sad. He's ahead of schedule, so he's definitely going to play this year. He's definitely going to be in the playoffs. Everything's looking really good. And then you look at these stats. I mean, dude, the Warriors added a 25-point scorer, a 2-3 a game big man, 13 boards, a steal and a half, a block and a half.
Pretty nasty.
The only reason he's ranked here is because even if he's ahead of schedule, I think they bring him along pretty slowly. I think you're not seeing him until post-All-Star break, potentially. There is the potential for that. So, but keep an eye on all of this news and reports, because we are shooting this early. If they keep getting better and better, like he's going to only be out a month, he needs to fly up this draft board. They're going to be so good.
Tier 5, Jared Allen I want to talk about. This is a guy a lot of people are starting to get excited about. We do think there is some excitement around him, obviously, but not to the level that some people are thinking. You know, when you look at his stats last year, he was 8, 5, and threw in over a block a game, which is nice. And the blocks are what you're really liking out of him. You can get him late. But there has been some reports. You know how we like these preseason reports that he has been working on his threes. So, you know, if he can add even just half a 3 a game, you know, I think that could be a nice little bump to his value. You know, and he isn't a huge cost on draft day, but, you know, I think some people are liking him a little more than we do. And then Steven Adams I want to talk about with OKC. You know, he's really turning out to be a guy that could be a very serviceable role player for your fantasy team. You know, the thing I like about him is a steal a game, a block a game, and he does throw in 9 rebounds a game. You know, he's not going to score a ton. They're not going to ask him to score a ton. But in terms of just a solid role player, big man for your fantasy team, he fits that.
All right, Tier 6. I think this guy that Dustin and I both like a lot. Willie CauleyStein. Just something about him we like. And he's got 13.7 boards last year, 1 block, 1 steal. You know, I don't know if there's a ton of upside to that, but I do think he will be improved. I actually do think the Kings will be a bit improved this year as well. So late in drafts, you could do a lot worse than Willie. And then I want to talk about Gortat. Yeah, former Bullet.
Your boy.
Not my boy anymore. I loved the hammer. Loved the hammer. And he disrespected and hated on John Wall. It's like, dude, 95% of your points came from a pick and roll where John threw you the ball. So I want to see how he does with the Clippers. I don't think he's going to be as good as last year. Way to go, Hammer. Whatever, dude. Whatever. You're not on any of my teams.
One guy I want to talk about in Tier 7 is Jordan Bell with Golden State. You know, people are starting to get really excited about him. You know, maybe starting to get more minutes and get more involved on that team. And then what do? They bring Cousins in. But Cousins isn't going to be ready right away. So we might get to see some more of Bell right out of the gate. And even when Cousins comes back, Bell should have a role on that team. But, I mean, how excited can you really get about Bell on that team? I mean, he's only going to be asked to do so much, but he is extremely talented. If he was on basically any other team, he'd be getting a good run, but he's just buried just because that team is so good. But he's still a fun late-round guy. Maybe an injury or two happens where he gets consistent minutes. So he's still a high-upside guy to get late.
Tier 8, I'm talking about JaVale McGee, who's not allowed to be on Shaq and the Fool anymore because he makes him sad. Another former knucklehead Bullet over here. On the Lakers now with LeBron James. We have him ranked here, and I want you to note where he is ranked. He's ranked here for a reason. I see him getting a lot of odd love, and it's because the Lakers are getting so much press with LeBron there. He is not that good. Show me his layup.
JaVale McGee is just, every time it looks like he's going to start getting minutes, they just go away. I mean, it's just, he's a highlight reel, and he's also a highlight reel for bonehead plays too. So that's our centers. Check out all our other tiers of rankings. Get onto our website.
Steve Kerr.
Download our draft guide. Leave us some comments. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the notification button. Hit all the buttons. All the buttons. All the buttons.